Imagine there are two students. One studies for 16 hours every single day and other studies for 6 hours every single day. And there is an examination coming up in 30 days. And out of these two, who do you think will make more who do you think will get more marks in those examinations? And if you don't know the answer, stick to the end of the video and you will know the answer. In this video, I'll convince you how studying less will get you more marks than actually studying more. Hi, my name is Manvik and I help Indian students like you score more marks in examinations by studying less. There are four main arguments that I want to share in this video. I'll read it out. If you have low attention, you can just hear it and you can go. First one is when you study less, you actually start small, so you will get more consistency by studying less. And when you study less, you study actually the major topics of the examinations. And when you study on the major topics of the examinations, you will naturally focus more on weak areas. And when you focus more on weak areas, you will score better marks in examinations. The formula is main points plus weak areas equal to better marks in examination. That was the main arguments, and I will explain them in detail right now. Let's go. So first one, starting small will get you more consistency. Imagine this. You have made a plan, so you have a plan, right? And in that plan, study for 16 hours every single day. How long do you think you will sustain that? Think of it like if you have two-digit IQ, then you will say that you cannot sustain it for a long period of time. And if you are not planning to sustain it for a long period of time, then yes, you can study for more hours every single day. Like there is an exam coming up in 7 days, 4 days, and then yeah, studying 16 hours every single day may help you. But say the exam is coming up in a month or 2 months. Do you think studying 16 hours every single day from today onwards is a good idea? No, right? It's not. So when exam is far away, somewhat far away, actually studying small will get you more consistency, and this consistency will get you the momentum to actually study more hours in the last few days of the exam. So you're starting small, you're studying for 3 to 4 hours every single day, and this studying does not mean attending lectures, just self studying. So when you self study for 1 to 2 hours every single day, that's considered low in today's world. But I think if you can study 1 to 2 hours every single day till the day of examination, you are golden. Because most people don't lack clarity, they lack consistency. And if you have heard it, consistency is key, then absolutely it is. But consistency without progress is nothing. Like, I have heard this quote from Tarun Speaks. He's a YouTuber. He says that movement is not does not equal to progress. Say you're studying for 1 to 2 hours every single day for the till the examination. That's considered good, right? Yes, it is considered good. But till the if you just keep studying 1 to 2 hours every single day and not adding up your time, that might not be very good. That might not be very beneficial. Of course, just studying 1 to 2 hours every single day is very beneficial than not studying at all. But just not progressing in that studying is not very good. But if you want to build consistency, then studying less will help you to achieve that. And by the way, if you are someone who struggles with consistency very much, then you can join my community. The link is in the description, where I will keep you accountable, so you can be more consistent in your studies. I will go on Zoom calls with you, and I'll talk to you what's the problem, what's happening, what is wrong with studying, and help. And there are other students who will also keep you accountable. So naturally, you will be more consistent by joining this group. If you can afford it, then you should absolutely join this group. If you can't, then no worries. You can still be consistent by following my advice on this video. And the next point is studying less will studying less is a competitive advantage. When you study less, you actually will study main topics. Say I keep a gun on your head. saying that you cannot study more than 1 to 2 hours every single day. And there are 10 topics in examination, and 5 of them are important. Which topics will you study? The 5 topics which are important, or the other 5 topics which are unimportant? Of course, the 5 important topics, right? I'll give another analogy. Say there's 7 days in an examination, and there are 20 topics in that, for that syllabus, for that exam syllabus, right? And the exam is 40 marks paper, and you know that 30 marks of that paper will come from 7 of these 20 topics. Which topics will you study? The 7 topics, right? You will not study 13 topics for 10 marks. You will study 7 topics for 30 marks. Does that make sense? Like, think about it for a second. There is exam coming up in 7 days, and 20 topics for 40 marks, and you get 30 marks from 7 of those 20 topics, and 10 marks for 13 of those 20 topics. Which topics would you study? The 7 or 13? The answer should be obvious. It's 7. Because by studying 7 topics, you get a lot of return on investment, that is time. You are investing your time into something which will get you more results. In our case, marks, examination marks. And this is a competitive advantage. Say you are studying for competitive exam. As far as my knowledge, I've seen JEE and NEET in India. So these are competitive exams, right? And in these examinations there is negative marking. In JEE there is negative marking, and when you study everything and attempt every question, there is a high chance that your score will be low. Or if you study main topics and you go on to writing those exams, you will actually score more, because the chances of you making mistakes is less, because you studied more, you gave more time on the main topics, not on the unnecessary and irrelevant topics. I'll take another example. Say you're preparing for board examinations, right? Like me, I'm also preparing. I'm also 10th class student, so naturally I'm preparing for board examinations. Board examinations, the syllabus, there is no negative marking, and the syllabus is very less if you think very clearly about it. And when you study all of those, that you have to study everything. I'm not saying to just leave out the remaining topics. You have to study everything. But in the last 3-4 days of examination, are you studying every single thing? No, right? If you are somebody to guide you in board examinations, like this telling study this topic, this topic has been repeated, they're saying it for a reason. Because some examinations, like board examinations of 10th class, the syllabus is very limited. So naturally the examiners will repeat the questions from the previous years, right? It's called previous year questions. And when they repeat that, they repeat from specific important topics. And when you study less, you study those specific important topics. Do you see how that correlates to the fact that you are saving more time, and you can use this more time to do other things? Like, I'll tell you, we will cover how to use those other times in this video as well. And that was my second point. And my third point here is, when you study main topics, you will naturally focus more on weak areas. I like to call this as self evaluation technique. When you study main topics for an examination, and you practice and you give tests and everything, you know where you are making mistakes. Say you are covering every single topic and giving every single question, something like that. You're covering every single thing. And when you finally give a practice test, you realize that more marks are going from these two topics. So you'll naturally focus more on that. You haven't been thinking of these topics like, yeah, I have to focus on this. You will actually think of it more when you actually give a mock test or practice test, something like that. That's a separate point, by the way. You always have to practice. Point here is, when you study main topics, you will naturally focus on your weak topics. Because when you self evaluate, like when you take out the syllabus and you note down the main points, you will actually know where you are lacking. Because when you are studying and you know, yeah, that topic is hard, you know that's hard, so you will focus on more. And when you focus on more of these weak areas and you study those main topics, you will actually score better than your last exam. Like you can do this for your next exam. This is an actionable step. I want you to write down the syllabus of your examination piece of paper and make a separate column called main parts of the syllabus. Like everything is important, but the major marks are coming from which topics. Yeah, you can write down that, and you can tick which of the topics you know already know, like you are very good at that. Say there is a mass examination coming up and there are three chapters: trigonometry, triangles and circles, and you are very good with trigonometry and triangles, but you are lacking with circles. And the main topics of this examination is trigonometry and circles, so you'll naturally focus on more circles and trigonometry. You will not leave out the triangles, but you get the point. This is how you self evaluate. I call this self evaluation technique, and this will help you get more marks. You can try this in your next exam, by the way, and comment down the results. And that's it for the video. And if you want me to personally help you build better study habits and stay consistent, then you can join my community. That's a link in the description, and where there are people who are like-minded. There are students who think like you, and I'll be personally helping you build better study habits and staying consistent. We'll go on calls and everything. That's a separate point. But if you want me to personally help you, then you can join my community. Or you want to study like me, you want to use the minimalist study routine that I use, then you can take the minimalist study guide. That's also linked in the description. See you in the next one. Goodbye.